I thought obviously we came out and really started, very similar to the way we ended last week. Defensively, we're doing some special things right now. It starts up front when your defensive line can stop the run and pressure the quarterback from 4 down, when you can get 13 tackles for a loss in a game and 10 sacks and hold someone to minus 19 yards rushing. We're playing championship level defense right now. We've been doing it, for a number of weeks. So, very, very pleased and impressed with that. When you got a young kid like Noah Kane who just, continues to get better and play with more confidence. He's very decisive in how he runs. He sticks his foot in the ground. He gets north-south. He breaks tackles. He'll get a 16-yard, he'll get a 12-yard, he'll get a 4-yard or a 3-yard. He's just very consistent. He's always falling forward. I thought we were real sharp offensively until we had the interception, and then we backed that up with a turnover on special teams, and then we just were inconsistent from that point on. So overall, we're pleased. There was a lot of talk about, some guys that they were missing during the game. As you guys know, we don't talk about injuries, but we were missing some guys as well. But we're happy to get a convincing win here in Beaver Stadium. We continue to get better on 3rd down on defense. We continue to get better on 3rd down on offense. So that's positive. But obviously there's some things that we got to get cleaned up on Sunday and Monday so that we have an opportunity to be 1-0 next week. But we're going to enjoy winning around here. We're going to celebrate this. There's going to be a bunch of people in town. Obviously there's a bunch of people on campus. I told our guys to go out and enjoy themselves, but no issues whatsoever. So I'm asking the 250,000 people that are in this town to make sure there's no issues tonight. So Monica, the police officer, asked me to make that announcement too. We want no issues. That's football players and everybody in town. Go enjoy yourself, have fun, no issues, no problems for anybody. That's you too.
I promise.
And you've got a wild side.
I do. If you only knew.
I've heard stories. I know people.
Raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. Dave?
James, you've got a lot to consider with all the running backs. You've got a lot of talented guys. You did say that if someone separated themselves, I think you distilled to 2 or 3 rather than 4. So what are you thinking now? Did Noah separate himself?
Yeah, I'm not going to announce a change or a decision at the running back position before watching the tape and studying all those things. We thought Journey had a couple weeks where he did some good things, so he moved to the top of the depth chart. Obviously, after today, you can make some arguments that maybe that's Noah now moving to the top of the depth chart. I don't know if we've gotten to a point where someone's consistently in practice and in games that's separated themselves from the pack. So I still think we're going to play 4 guys, but there could be a guy that's the lead, starter. So I think what we did is the starter I think got 2 series, and then we went 1-to-1 after that. But we'll see. I don't want to sit here and proclaim a decision's been made before we've discussed it as a staff or with the players.
Just in general, without talking about these guys, though, in all sports, different models of how you treat. For instance, in baseball, there used to be maybe 1 reliever or complete games. Now there's 5 pitchers. Yep. Could you see that happening with running backs? I
do, and I also think football's changed as well, is where you better have 3 backs. And we're in a situation where we think we got 4, because I think the other thing, Devin Ford went in and did some really good things too. So we got some guys that we believe in. I think all of them are playing at a high level. I think Coach Sider's done a really good job with those guys as well. So we'll just see. We'll continue to evaluate, and the good thing is we got someone stepping up each week. It's not always the same guy, but we got somebody who's doing it.
James, you said the offense was inconsistent. You scored 28 points in the first 16 minutes. Did you think that the play calling by design got less risky because of the way your defense was playing?
Yeah, I didn't feel that during the game. We took some shots down the field, didn't hit them early in the game. We didn't really throw the ball down the field, but we threw the ball on time. And we were able to get separation, make people miss, and take a 12-yard throw, 50. So explosive plays can come in a number of different ways. It's throwing it over their heads, or it's being able to run great routes, create separation, throw on time. And we just didn't do that as much in the second half, or we'd get a pressure or a hold or something to throw us off a rhythm. I did not feel that during the game, but we didn't execute. They made some adjustments, then we made some adjustments, but we weren't as clean with our execution. I thought last week for 4 quarters, we really played a complete game, and I felt like, maybe after getting those early points, that maybe we took a deep breath and exhaled, and we don't live like that around here. We're gonna play for 4 quarters, 6 seconds at a time, and be aggressive for 4 quarters. So we'll look at the tape and see.
James, sometimes noon starts can be tricky with maybe getting off to a slow start. That wasn't the case today. You mentioned you thought it was a continuation of the finish of last week's game. Can you pinpoint why you thought you got off to such a good start? Be it homecoming, confidence from last week, any reason?
Yeah, I think we're a confident football team right now. I do. I think we're doing some really good things. Really in all 3 phases. I think we can be a little bit more consistent on special teams. I think we can be a little bit more consistent on offense. But we're really doing some nice things in all 3 phases. One of the things that we continue to do is get guys reps. We've done that for probably more games this year than we've ever had, where we're able to get backups in the game and allow those guys to play. But I think we've got a confident football team, and we got a locker room right now that those guys are having fun and not taking it for granted. And so I'm very, very pleased with our team. I'm very pleased with our coaching staff. And again, like I said, we'll enjoy this win tonight, but we got some things we got to get cleaned up. And that's always going to be the case, whether we win by 1, whether we win by 7, or whether we win by 50, there's going to be things on tape that we got to get cleaned up. And at this level, that's what it's about. It's about consistency. You have certain players or you have certain programs that are able to do it from time to time, but the great programs and the great players are able to do it consistently. All those guys in the locker room got a lot of talent. And they can show you 1 out of 10 times or 2 out of 10 times. The best programs and the best players are able to do it at a high level. So that's why our message is consistent. That's why our approach is consistent, so that we have the best opportunity that I think to be able to play at a high level as consistently as possible. When it becomes emotional and you're finding ways to drive the team, or you're finding ways to get people angry and turn the opponent into something like a monster, we don't do that. We focus on Penn State. We focus on our process and our approach. We respect all our opponents, but we fear none. And we put some really good weeks of preparation together, which I think has led to a confident football team. We need to do it again.
James, the special teams today, how do you think that kind of went after Jordan Stout got off to a hot start? How could you kind of assess what's been going on there?
Yeah, I think inconsistent. Obviously we missed a field goal. We kind of had a freaky play. One of the things that we have an issue with is, I think some people are a little concerned to kick it to us. So on kickoff return, the ball's all over the place. I'm not talking about just today, I'm talking about throughout the year. Whether they're kicking it deep, whether they're squibbing it, whether they're popping it over. Same thing on punt return. People are a little concerned to punt the ball to KJ. So now they roll out, do the low dribble, they roll out and then kicked it across the field, and sometimes that's a mistake, but that was clearly the plan based on how their coverage units were set up. So it gives you a lot of different things that you have to account for. And sometimes when that happens, when the ball is kicked that short and it's inconsistent, then you get some freaky plays like we had today. But we need to be more consistent. We need to eliminate the penalties on special teams, and we need to make sure that we control the ball on special teams.
Joe?
James in the middle. KJ had a lot to do with your early great start with the punt returns, the receiving, blocking, everything. But you didn't seem to see the ball a lot in the second half, and what was your opinion of that and the fact that his decision-making on catching punts in the second half?
Yeah, again, I think we need to be cleaner there. I think a part of it is there'd be 1 minute it was a roll punt, the ball would come out low and you have to go attack it in traffic, and then the next minute we'd adjust him up and the ball would be kicked deep over his head. So I thought they did a good job of kind of keeping us off balance there. you know, in terms of getting him touches, it was a focus and an emphasis the entire game. Again, people are going to do some things defensively. You can't force the ball to somebody, but that was communicated, you know, by me and with the offense the entire game. But again, you know, people are going to do some things that you just can't force the ball to a certain player. And I think we all realize too that that's a big part of people's defensive plan each week. Is you know making sure that they have some type of bracket coverage or whatever it may be on KJ. You're not going to stop him, but you can limit his influence.
Time for 2 more, Mark.
James, it seemed like Shaka kind of set a tone for your defense in the way that it played. Can you talk about that? And then how much does that open things up for some other people when they maybe have to focus on a guy who has a couple of early sacks?
Yeah, he's you know, not only does he have great quickness and speed, you know, but he's a very, very smart football player. He's one of the more cerebral guys we have. And he's a guy, once he gets your cadence, now you're combining him having a really good feel for what your cadence is, and now he's able to anticipate and combine his athletic ability with, you know, with his mental approach to the game as well. So, you know, we're very pleased with him. I do think he set the tone. You know, when you can beat someone like that, it kind of gets in their head and creates some confidence issues. And now we got other guys rotating in, doing some things as well. You know, we got into some packages where we got, you know, 3 defensive ends on the field, as, you know, together. You got Michael Parsons. I think getting his first sack was great. I think, you know, that needs to grow for him because we think he has tremendous ability in doing it. So, you know, a bunch of guys making plays, a bunch of guys doing some really good things. But Shaka's been, you know, really, really good for us, and I think, you know, he'll continue to have a big year.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, we talked on Tuesday about Purdue's pressure package and things like that. Coming out of post game now, what are your thoughts on you know, the way your team handled it? Sean seemed to stay pretty clean.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I don't know what the sack total was. How many did they have?
I think one.
I think they had 1. They had a couple other plays where they got some pressure, batted some balls down and things like that. But I think overall, you know, I think we've been playing pretty well. We had a lot of respect for their ability to pressure the quarterback. We had a lot of respect, especially for the Karlaftis kid. You know, so it was an emphasis. I think for the most part, we're playing pretty good up front. You know, we want to get to the point where we're dominant, but when you're able to, you know, give up 1 sack and get 10, that's a pretty good split. You know, we'll take that each week. But you know, I do think coming into this game, we had a lot of respect for their ability to pressure the quarterback and do some different things from a package and a scheme perspective. And you know, I think our guys are playing really well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.